The breaking story in this hour, the Johannesburg Magistrates Court ruling that the BLF slogan, land or death, constitutes hate speech. For more on the outcomes of the ruling, we find out more from our reporter who was at that story. Busisiwe, mad rush to the office.
Yes.
Let's go into the origins of this case.
Well, the application was brought forward by the Human Rights Commission. Certain lady, Ms. Stradom, complained to the commission saying that the slogan constituted hate speech against white people, and so the case has been ongoing, and today was the judgment of that case where the magistrate ruled that that slogan, land or death, constitute hate speech. In that application still, Desiree, the Human Rights Commission also wanted the court to instruct the Electoral Court to review or look into the BLF's part in these elections that will be on Wednesday, in which the court ruled that it does not have the jurisdiction to rule on that matter. So the Human Rights Commission lost on that part, but they were saying they're happy with the ruling, seeing that generally most of the things that they came to court to apply for, the court granted them that. They also wanted the court to take this to the National Director of Public Prosecutions, in which the court ruled that the clerk must forward the judgment to the National Director of Public Prosecutions to check if there can be any criminal case against the BLF.
What was the mood like in court?
Well, BLF members were happy. The court was packed inside and out. They went out where Andile Mqitama, the president of BLF, went to address them. They were still singing their songs, singing the song saying that land now or land or death, saying they are not going back. They are resolute. They are going to appeal the matter. They are not going to apologize to anyone, and saying that this is just a plot to make sure that they silence the BLF, seeing that the BLF is the only party that will, when it's in parliament, to challenge both the ANC and the EFF to fast track the issue of land without compensation, saying that these are tricks and they will not be deterred from fighting for black people, and they are not going to apologize.
The same sentiment they raised with us actually when we spoke to Andile on the phone just now. You're saying that the Human Rights Council says it's happy that it's one part of what it was demanding, but the BLF saying we're going to appeal.
Yes, precisely. And when we spoke to the provincial leader of the Human Rights Commission, he was saying that, well, if they are not going to apologize, they are going to be in contempt of the court. And if they want to appeal, then it's within their rights to appeal. But they're happy and saying that this goes well with what they've been saying, that in this democratic South Africa, no one should actually constitute or say these speeches that constitute hate speech against another race, that they are advocating for equality, for race equality, and so that everyone enjoys the freedom of living in a new democratic South Africa. But it looks like the court battle is still one that is still going to go on, as the BLF is saying there is no way that they are going to surrender and apologize for what they believe in, because they're saying that black people have fought for the land, they were killed for the land, and therefore no one is going to tell them that they are not going to use their slogans. And in fact, they were chanting songs and actually chanting that slogan, that land or death. So it remains to be seen where this goes to.
The timeline, the court decision gives them a timeline of 20 days, and Andile was arguing that all they wanted was to take part in the election and get their share of the election spoils. Will it still matter 20 days down the line?
I think it will still matter, Desiree, because this is an ordinary citizen that laid the complaint. The issue of them being taken out of the ballot paper is a secondary issue. One that is primary is that this constitutes hate speech according to the court, as we've heard now. So even after the elections, those people who are complaining are still going to feel the effect of this chanting, the speeches that are going to be made by the BLF. For them, this was not about, for the lady, for Miss Stradom, it was not about them being taken out of the ballot paper, but to say they must apologize and stop using words that seem to be having hate speech against white people.
Well, I suppose a breaking story that will continue to be unpacked throughout the day. A breaking story in this hour, a decision by the Equality Court that a slogan by the BLF constitutes hate speech. Busisiwe, thank you so much for coming through to talk to us.
A pleasure.
And that's it for the show today. Thank you so much for spending the last 3 hours with us. Ciao, ciao.